Hi, I'm Wendy Darlington, one of the directors at Mrs. Darlington's Preserves. And I'd like to take just a few minutes to share with you what Mrs. Darlington's have to offer in the run-up to winter 2020. Firstly though, I'd like to introduce my sister Sarah, one of my partners in crime, along with our mother Marion, the Mrs. Darlington. As we'd like to say a really big thank you, as we're incredibly proud to have been voted yet again Best Preserves brand in Fine Food Digest's annual survey of independent retail. I'm often asked, how do we get to be voted Best Preserves brand year after year? And it simply comes down to the great repeat purchase levels that our products generate. And that's a result of two things. Firstly, there's our signature homemade taste that Mrs. Darlington's has become famous for. And we combine that then with always ensuring we're at an affordable price point for consumers. That special homemade taste so associated with Mrs. Darlington's and the authentic story that sits behind it is what makes us so unique. And that story started just a little over 40 years ago, just a few miles from where I'm sitting today. We were a poultry farm and we found ourselves with a glut of eggs. And my mum, being very much from the waste not, want not generation, decided to get out her cookery books and see how she could use up the eggs, and decided to make her family's favourite lemon curd. Mum then decided she would go and sell that lemon curd on her egg rounds in the local towns and villages. Little by little, demand began to grow as Mum sold more and more to more shops on her egg rounds across Cheshire. And she began to also employ members of staff, ladies from the local village. And my dad decided to bite the bullet and convert some of the farm buildings into a small production facility. We then had some local fruit farmers come by and say, Marion, we've got lots of leftover fruit, could you do something with it? So Mum, being a great farmhouse cook, took what she was given and created products around it. The rest, of course, is then history. Over the years, we expanded little by little, developed the range, and we found ourselves today, 40 odd years later, going from having produced 100 jars a day in the kitchen to now over 2 million jars a year and being sold right around the world. For anybody who hasn't yet tried Mrs. Darlington's range in their stores, I did just want to take a moment to flag what our best-selling lines are. And it's these lines which are the reason why we were voted Best Preserves brand again. If you'd like to try any of these lines, please do just let me know, or of course the team at Springvale, and we'll get samples out to you. On to our Christmas offering. There are two parts to that. Firstly, there are our Christmas must-haves for consumers. Then a much more recent addition, which we're really excited about, is our festive little gifts range that you can see here. We began introducing these last year and they were hugely successful. And so we've extended the range again. And the idea being very much to offer consumers really easy little, cost-effective gifts for friends and family over the Christmas period. And we have here our mincemeat with brandy. We have a Christmas preserve, which is basically made with plums, port and spices. Bucksford's marmalade, that's probably the best marmalade we make from my perspective, always on my table. And then we importantly have two curds. We are most well known for our curds. And we have our legendary lemon curd with a hint of gin, which we've called Tipsy lemon curd, and a cranberry and orange curd. Again, obviously perfect for Christmas. Our Christmas chutney was incredibly successful last year. That's made with cranberry and apples. And we were asked, would we extend that range and add another chutney in, which we've done so here with a Boxing Day chutney, which is made with date and figs. And last but by no means least is the little fellow on the end, and that's a cranberry sauce with port. If you'd like any samples to try, please do just give me a call or any member of the team at Darlington's, or of course the team at Springvale. And if you have any questions, do just give us a shout.